Hey, it's Dr. Carlo Biasucci. I want to ask you a question. Have you ever had this happen? Earlier this week, I had a staff member come to me and say, hey, Dr. Biasucci, guess what? We had this patient who was really upset, and by the time we were done, we were able to make them so happy and everything was smoothed over. And I thought, okay, great, that's awesome, except why was the patient so unhappy? And if you ever had that experience, you probably stopped and thought, I'm really happy that, yes, my team did a great job and smoothed over a potential problem, and now we have a happy patient. But have you ever thought about what the cost of that is to your business? So there's a great book that I just read a couple months ago called Outside In. And if you've never read this, it's a valuable read. And every time I hear something like that now, it completely colors it differently for me. So the value in that book is there's a lot of examples. One in particular, the authors are talking about a telecom company in Europe. And they were working hard on trying to improve their customer service, their call center, so they could effectively improve service and decrease costs of running this call center. It was basically a customer service based operation. And so they did everything that they could to try to improve service. How can we do a better job, and how can we go to the next level with every patient who a customer who calls and complains. So if they had a billing issue, or if they had a service issue or a contract issue, whatever it was, when they called this call center, they went as far as gifting people and giving them freebies and all kinds of things to try to improve their overall level of service to their clients. And it turns out it never actually moved the needle much. I mean, there wasn't that much of an improvement. They weren't saving costs, and they certainly weren't saving turnover. So one of the key things they were trying to do was to keep customers. And so they thought that by going to all these lengths to try to make people happy when they called with an issue, that they would be able to keep customers. And as it turns out, it really had little effect on keeping customers. They were spending more money, the call center operation was costing them more, but they weren't effectively keeping customers long term. So the only thing that mattered, they went back and focused on something completely different. And do you want to guess what that is? They went back and focused on how can we make it so that the customer never has the problem in the first place. They never have the billing issue. They never have the service issue. And if they don't, then they're way more likely to stay. And that's what their study proved. So how can you use this in your practice? While you want to, of course, pat your staff member on the back and tell them thank you and great job, and I'm really happy you were able to make that patient happy. However, how about if we didn't have them unhappy in the first place? So, every time that a patient complains about something, you got to remember that person is speaking for 100 that don't say anything. And every time you get something like that, go back and every touch point, what happened? Where did we drop the ball? And how can we make it so that that never happens? So there's a great statistic out there that if a customer, patient, whatever, rates your business 4.8 out of 5 instead of a 5 out of 5, they're 6 times less likely to repeat business with you again. Just that small little difference, 4.8 out of 5 instead of a 5 out of 5. Well, this is exactly the same thing. Anything that is a little off, that leaves a bad taste in someone's mouth, makes them second guess whether to come back and deal with you again, whether you have your operation put together well enough to have earned their repeat business. And so that book, Outside In, and that statistic really just emphasized the point that anytime there's an issue, anytime someone raises an issue in a customer service business, which is what we're all in as professionals, what do you do? What's your process to make sure that doesn't happen again? Because the only thing better than fixing a customer service or a patient issue is never having it in the first place. So go back to your practice and look at every touch point. Where are people having friction, and how can we remove that so that everyone has a great experience? Your practice will flourish as a result of doing that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. please go ahead and like and share and leave me your comments below. I enjoy reading them and I enjoy interacting with you. So go out there and live your bigger future.